Hello fellow gardeners and welcome back to Smart Garden. If you're here, you're probably someone who loves the thrill of growing your own food, the satisfaction of harvesting something you nurtured from seed, and the challenge of pushing your garden's boundaries. Today, we're tackling something that might sound impossible to those who've resigned themselves to barren winter landscapes, growing fresh vegetables under snow with virtually no effort. Yes, you read that right. While your neighbors are settling for expensive grocery store produce and dreaming of spring, you could be harvesting crisp, sweet vegetables from beneath a blanket of white. Let's dive into the fascinating world of 5 fall vegetables that don't just survive winter, they actually thrive in it. Before we introduce our 5 cold-hardy champions, let's talk about why this works at all. Many gardeners view snow as the ultimate enemy, the final curtain call that signals the end of the growing season. But here's the surprising truth. Snow is actually one of the best friends your winter garden could have. Think of it as a cozy quilt tucked around your plants. Snow contains tiny air pockets that trap heat radiating from the soil, creating a stable microclimate underneath. While the air temperature above might be plummeting to bitter lows, beneath that snowy layer, your vegetables are experiencing surprisingly moderate conditions. This insulation effect protects plants from the harsh temperature swings that actually cause the most damage. Those brutal freeze-thaw cycles that can rupture plant cells and turn tender leaves to mush. With snow cover, your vegetables enter a state of dormancy or very slow growth, essentially hitting the pause button until conditions improve, all while remaining perfectly preserved and ready to harvest whenever you need them. Let's start with perhaps the most magical transformation that happens in the winter garden: carrots. These humble root vegetables undergo a remarkable change when exposed to cold temperatures, and it's pure plant chemistry at work. As temperatures drop and frost settles in, carrots begin converting their stored starches into sugars as a natural antifreeze mechanism. The result? Carrots harvested after several hard frosts taste noticeably sweeter, almost candy-like, compared to their summer counterparts. This isn't just gardener folklore, it's biological fact. The best varieties for overwintering include Napoli Bolero and the aptly named Winterkeeper, all bred specifically for cold tolerance and extended storage in the ground. The beauty of carrots as a winter crop is that the soil itself provides the primary insulation. Your carrots are already tucked safely underground, and when snow covers the garden bed, you've essentially created a natural root cellar. You can leave carrots in the ground well past the first frost and harvest them throughout early winter until the soil freezes completely solid. A layer of thick mulch, about 6 to 8 inches of straw or shredded leaves, applied before the first snow gives you an extra insurance policy, keeping the soil workable longer and making harvest easier. When you're ready to dig, simply brush away the snow, pull back the mulch, and extract your treasure. The key to success is planting in mid to late summer, giving carrots enough time to develop good size before cold weather arrives. Aim for a planting date about 10 to 12 weeks before your first expected hard frost. If there's one leafy green that laughs in the face of winter, it's spinach. This nutritional powerhouse possesses an almost stubborn resilience that makes it perfect for gardeners who want fresh greens without the fuss of elaborate protection systems. Established spinach plants can survive temperatures down to around 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and with snow cover providing additional insulation, they'll sit patiently waiting for harvest throughout much of winter. Varieties like Giant Winter, Bloomsdale Long Standing, and Space are particularly well suited for cold weather growing, having been selected specifically for their ability to withstand freezing temperatures and continue producing. What makes spinach especially appealing for the low-effort winter gardener is its cut-and-come-again growth habit. Rather than pulling entire plants, you can harvest outer leaves as needed, allowing the crown to continue producing new growth during any mild spells. This means one planting in early fall can potentially provide multiple harvests extending into winter and resuming in earliest spring. The secret is establishing your spinach plants during the cool days of early autumn, typically 8 to 10 weeks before your first hard frost. This timing allows plants to develop strong root systems and several sets of true leaves before winter really sets in. Once established, spinach essentially takes care of itself. It may appear frozen and lifeless under snow or during extreme cold snaps, but give it a day or two of milder weather and those leaves perk right back up, ready to harvest. For best results, Choose a location with good drainage to prevent winter waterlogging, which is one of the few things that can actually harm these tough plants. Kale has earned its reputation as a superfood, but in the winter garden, it deserves recognition as a superhero. This brassica is phenomenally cold-hardy, with some varieties surviving temperatures down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit or even lower when protected by snow. But here's what makes kale truly special for winter growing. Cold weather doesn't just fail to harm it, cold actually improves its flavor. The natural bitterness that can make summer kale challenging for some palates mellows considerably after exposure to frost, while the leaves become more tender and sweet. It's as if frost performs a magical culinary transformation, turning kale into its best possible version. Red Russian kale stands out as particularly exceptional for winter growing, with its beautiful purple-veined leaves and incredible cold tolerance. Lacinato, also called dinosaur kale, and winterboar are other excellent choices, each bringing slightly different flavors and textures to your winter table. Like spinach, kale can be harvested leaf by leaf throughout the season, starting from the bottom of the plant and working your way up. This allows the plant to continue producing new growth from its central growing point, potentially providing harvests over several months. The key is planting at the right time, typically late summer to early fall, giving plants time to establish before serious cold arrives. Once established and covered by snow, kale requires virtually no care. It simply waits, improving in flavor with each passing frost, ready whenever you want to brush away the snow and harvest some fresh greens for dinner. Parsnips often live in the shadow of their orange cousin the carrot, but for winter gardeners, they deserve a spotlight of their own. These cream-colored roots undergo the same starch-to-sugar conversion as carrots when exposed to cold, but many gardeners argue the transformation is even more dramatic. A parsnip harvested before frost can taste bland, woody, or even slightly bitter. That same parsnip, left in the ground through multiple freeze-thaw cycles and harvested in late winter or early spring, becomes something entirely different, sweet, nutty, and complex in flavor. This is why experienced gardeners always say parsnips aren't truly ready until they've been frosted. The patience required for parsnips pays remarkable dividends. These are long-season vegetables, typically requiring 16 to 20 weeks from seed to harvest size, which means they must be planted in late spring or early summer for a winter harvest. But once established, parsnips are among the most effortless winter vegetables. Their deep taproots make them naturally drought-resistant during their growing period, and their position deep in the soil provides excellent insulation during winter. A layer of mulch helps keep the ground workable for easier harvesting, but otherwise, parsnips ask nothing from you except patience. They can remain in the ground all winter and even into early spring, though most gardeners aim to harvest before new growth begins. When you're ready to dig, you'll find roots that have developed a complexity of flavor that simply isn't available in store-bought parsnips or those harvested in autumn. Our fifth winter warrior might be unfamiliar to many North American gardeners, but in Europe, mache, also called corn salad or lamb's lettuce, has long been treasured as the ultimate cold-weather salad green. This small, rosette-forming plant has the remarkable ability to continue growing actively during cold weather when most other greens have gone dormant. Mache can tolerate temperatures down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and with snow cover, it remains productive throughout winter. The leaves are tender, mild, and slightly nutty, making them perfect for winter salads when you're craving something fresh and green. What makes mache particularly appealing for the low-maintenance winter gardener is its compact size and undemanding nature. These plants form small, ground-hugging rosettes that are naturally protected from wind and easily covered by snow. They don't require extensive space, making them perfect for tucking into smaller garden areas or even growing in cold frames if you want extra protection. Mache is typically sown in late summer or early fall, and unlike some of our other vegetables, it's relatively fast-growing, ready to harvest in about 6 to 8 weeks. Once established, you can harvest entire rosettes or pick individual leaves as needed. Mache will often self-seed if allowed to flower in spring, meaning one planting can potentially establish a permanent winter crop in your garden with minimal intervention. For best results, sow seeds directly in the garden in late August or September. Keep them consistently moist during establishment, and then simply let nature take its course. The vegetables we've explored today represent a fundamental shift in how we think about gardening and the growing season. By understanding which plants actually thrive in cold conditions and leveraging snow's natural insulating properties, you can extend your harvest by months while reducing your workload. The key to all of this is timing your plantings correctly, typically 8 to 10 weeks before your first hard frost, to allow plants to establish strong root systems before deep winter arrives. With proper planning in late summer and early fall, you set yourself up for months of fresh harvest with virtually zero winter maintenance. If you're new to winter gardening, start with just 1 or 2 of these vegetables this year. Experience the thrill of brushing away snow to reveal vibrant green kale leaves, or digging up impossibly sweet carrots when the rest of your neighborhood's gardens are frozen bare. Share your fresh harvest with friends and family, who'll be amazed that you grew it in January. Once you've tasted the success of winter gardening, you'll never look at your fall garden the same way again. If you found this guide valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos on year-round gardening techniques. Share this video with fellow gardeners who think the season ends with the first frost. Let's prove them wrong together. Drop a comment below and let us know which of these 5 vegetables you're most excited to try, or share your own winter gardening success stories. Until next time, happy gardening, and remember, at Smart Garden, we grow in all seasons.